Worst to Best is a series where I'm ranking every gun within a weapon class after I unlock Diamond Camo and have tons of experience with each of the weapons. This episode is all about the light machine guns of Call of Duty Vanguard. Please note the Type 11 has a glitched camo challenge that makes it impossible to actually unlock Diamond Camo at the time of recording this video. Just want to make that clear up front. I really don't want to delay this video until there's a patch for it. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to tap that like button and consider subscribing. Take a look at the graph on the screen right here. The stats are kind of embarrassing. I'm trying to improve them. So if you like what you see, consider subscribing. So let's get started. The worst LMG in Vanguard, coming in at the number 4 spot, is the Type 11. Can we just take a moment to discuss what in the world is going on with these iron sights and the way you hold this weapon? This is the ugliest gun I have ever seen. The iron sight really isn't the problem. It's just that the gun takes up half of the left side of your screen, and it's really jarring because the left screen space is rarely covered in shooting games. It feels like you're playing with your screen flipped. I highly recommend you put an optic on this as soon as you unlock one, because it will actually lower the weapon and put it in the center of the screen like you'd expect a weapon to look in a Call of Duty game. With all that said, that is not the reason this weapon is in the worst spot. I actually really like the Type 11 at first. It's one of the first LMGs I used in this game. It's supposed to be one of those assault rifle hybrid light machine guns that sacrifices some firepower in exchange for faster handling and movement speeds. The damage output with the Type though is just surprisingly bad. Honestly, it feels like a pellet gun when you shoot this gun. I'll actually show you the time to kill comparison on the screen right now. It's not like this reflects the worst to best order for this video, so it's not going to spoil anything. But you can see the Type kills in 320 milliseconds, and the other LMGs are about 100 milliseconds faster, if not more. I've tried all the attachment combos, but there's nothing you can do to make the Type remotely competitive when it comes to damage. With such mediocre damage, I'd expect it to have some nice speed bonuses. It does have better hip fire, faster movement, faster strafe, faster reload, faster aim down sight speed, but none of these speed boosts are actually that significant. Plus, there's no sprint to fire speed boost on the Type 11, which holds this weapon back a lot from performing like an assault rifle and competing with assault rifles in this game. So in the end, while the Type 11 is a bit faster than the other light machine guns, overall it's just a straight up downgrade from what is to come on this list. Coming in at the number 3 spot, we have the Bren. Now I'm going to admit, it's actually one of my favorite light machine guns to use in this game, and it kind of hurts me to put it at the number 3 spot, so I'm going to spend some time talking about it. The Bren is a full auto, slow firing, high damage light machine gun. It does have that top magazine that obstructs the right side of the screen, although this is much thinner than Type 11 and the right side isn't as jarring than the left, but in the end it is still kind of annoying for that to happen. But the real downside of this weapon is the recoil. The initial recoil is almost non-existent. Your first 3 to 4 shots are going to be on point. Then it will start to climb a lot, and the longer you hold down the trigger, the wilder the recoil gets. This persists even with the best attachment. It's something you're going to have to deal with at all times when using the Bren, which makes it hard to use at longer ranges. You definitely want to get into the habit of burst firing the weapon. You may even want to try putting the Bren into semi-auto and treating it like a DMR at the longer ranges. Semi-auto fire practically eliminates all the recoil on the Bren. Attachments are what makes this weapon amazing though. For one, you have the 50 BMG mags or the Oaken Shield barrel that both make the Bren a 2-shot kill to the body. That's a 100 millisecond time to kill. It absolutely deletes enemies and allows you to squeeze out 2 kills before having to adjust for recoil if you are firing this in full auto. Plus, the Royal Barrel grants the Bren infinite range, so you can use that with the 50 BMG mags and 2-tap enemies across a map. The other nasty attachment is the Crown Barrel, which increases headshot damage. Usually, I'll skip over these types of attachments because they reduce body damage, but the Bren can one-shot to the head. Plus, this barrel grants infinite range, which makes this gun become like a full auto sniper / marksman rifle, although it is a slow firing full auto, but technically it's a full auto one-shot weapon. If you're skilled enough to pull off a bunch of headshots, this thing is an absolute monster. You can also revert the body shot to a 3-shot kill if you combine it with the BMG rounds. Granted, you are looking at like a 450 millisecond time to kill with a decreased rate of fire, but if you're using the crown barrel, I'd recommend it regardless because it's much better than having to do a 5-shot body kill. But yeah, looking at the bigger picture here, the Bren is a struggle bus to level up early on. It has some pretty significant downsides, which is why it's not higher up on the list, but man, if you can control that recoil, this thing has crazy firepower. Alright, moving on, at the number 2 spot, the second best LMG in Call of Duty Vanguard, we have the MG42. The MG42 is a fast-firing LMG that shreds at all ranges. It's a great weapon straight off the bat and only gets better with the more attachments that you unlock. It has nice iron sights, it has a good time to kill that we saw at the beginning of this video. There's not much recoil, although there's like a lot of visual bounce with this weapon, but the actual bullet spread with this weapon is very tight and not bad at all. It also has a faster aim down sight speed that matches the Type 11, which is a nice bonus, and it has a huge 125 round magazine to work with. The only downside to the MG42 is that the reload speed is pretty slow, but that's not much of an issue when you have 125 rounds to work with or 250 rounds. Yes, there is a 250 round box magazine that gives you 1,000 rounds to fire per respawn. I think it's like the most ammo they've ever given you in a Call of Duty game for a weapon. You can practically get a V2 rocket without reloading with this attachment, and I really like it. I think it's really convenient. But you also have the 125 round anti-material mag, which boosts your damage and reduces your shots to kill by 1, which speeds up your time to kill significantly. This mag does add lots of recoil though and makes it harder to use the MG42 at range, which is why I personally stay away from this magazine attachment. If I'm using an LMG, I want to be able to use it like mid to long ranges. If I wanted close quarters combat involved, I'd probably just use an assault rifle. But yeah, the MG42 is great without attachments and it's good with attachments at all ranges. The only downside again is that slow reload, but overall I found it to be an enjoyable weapon to use. But not as much as our LMG at the number 1 spot. The best light machine gun in Vanguard is going to the DP27, or what I like to refer to as the dinner plate, because that weird round mag just looks like a giant dinner plate. The description says the DP27 is a full auto LMG that's versatile at all ranges, and I totally agree. That is why I love this weapon. I think it's the best in the game because it's straight up versatile. It shares like the base LMG stats. It's not fast, it's not slow, but it pumps out a ton of damage as the fastest time to kill minus the Bren, but more importantly it has very little recoil. You can full spray this weapon at close to mid ranges and hit all your shots. It's probably best to burst fire at longer ranges to secure the kill. It can get a little bit bouncy at longer ranges, but this is all without attachments. Like, this gun doesn't even really need attachments. It was one of the best leveling up experiences that I had because it just kept getting better and better the more stuff you unlocked. Later on you can unlock a larger caliber round, which makes for a 3-shot kill, and when you pair that with the recoil attachments you unlock, you're able to full spray at longer ranges. You also have the option to kit for faster aim down sight speed and handling speeds because the weapon's already pretty accurate on your own. You don't need to opt for the recoil attachments like you normally would. My only complaint really with the dinner plate is that the dinner plate itself actually obstructs your view some, but it doesn't really get in the way during gunfights at all, and I don't really see it being an issue. It just looks like a cool magazine in my opinion. But yeah, the DP27 is a very solid gun and deserves its spot at the best overall light machine gun in Vanguard. But hey, maybe you disagree on a LMG or perhaps my entire list. As always, you're encouraged to comment your own best to worst list, but make sure you try out some of these class setups on screen before doing so, because you might be missing out on some special secret sauce. There's tons of loadouts you can make with the 10 attachment gunsmith system in Vanguard, but these classes are what I've gravitated towards and mostly use in this video. I will be omitting my one-shot Bren headshot class from this video though, because I think I'm going to be making a separate video on that. But if you're looking to do that, all you really need to do is replace the Royal barrel with the Crown barrel and you're pretty much good to go. Make sure you check out my worst to best playlist for more videos like this. Please tap that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. If you'd like to help support the channel directly, there's some links down below at the bottom of the description that you can check out. Peace.